Hey everyone, welcome into DomTime. Thanks for joining us tonight. And on Wednesday nights, it's our weekly roundup. We bring in one or two assorted pundits across the Delaware Valley, and we talk with them about everything in the news and maybe stories that we haven't done a full show on yet, and try to catch you up on some of the things that are involved. Now, our pundit du jour, Chuck Darrow, is someone that has actually filled in for me on the radio on the overnight show. Among other things, he's a stand-up comedian, he's a musician. He's also someone that is the features and entertainment writer specializing in casinos and theater for the Philadelphia Daily News, which is quite a beat. That extends into a lot of different things. So let's start talking about the casinos. I've heard you with some of my colleagues at 1210, and I think you shared what it's too smart by half, the Revel. Have they gotten their mind right? And the broader thing I want to set up for viewers is, Chuck, you've said this is a very pivotal summer for AC,
Absolutely.
Which seems to be taking a beating.
Well, things would have to improve for it to be simply a beating. I mean, convenience gambling in surrounding states has murdered the business down there. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, when I see the Parks ads and some of these others, they make it almost glamorous to go to Ben Salem.
Right.
And AC doesn't have that glamour anymore, does it?
See, interestingly, it really does, and even more so with the opening of Revel. And now, I mean, I don't know if glamour in Margaritaville, the whole Jimmy Buffett thing, but there's no comparison between a Parks, which sits amidst strip malls, right?
Yeah.
Mostly strip malls on Street Road in Ben Salem, and the Atlantic City Boardwalk and the Marina District. But the bottom line is simply this, that for 25 years, 30 years, Atlantic City enjoyed obviously a monopoly in this region, and at one point enjoyed the national, or east of the Mississippi, or east of Nevada monopoly. And it was all, they made so much money from, the example I always use, I always talk about grandmom and grandpop from the Northeast as an example. For years and years, they got on the bus twice a week, maybe twice a month, for whatever reason, they went down there an hour, 15, hour and a half on the bus to Atlantic City to play their favorite slot machine. Now, you have to understand, this demographic, which is so important to the financial health of Atlantic City, how it historically has been, they don't care about celebrity chefs. They don't care about hot discos. They don't care about $200.
Oh, come on now.
They don't care about $200, spot treatments, which is all of which Atlantic City offers. Almost probably, there's no place else outside of maybe New York and Miami on the East Coast, between New York and Miami, that offers all that in such a small area. But the hardcore, the slot player, the bus rider, why they don't care? All they care about is their favorite slot machine that they played in Atlantic City is now 15 minutes from their house in the Northeast. And boy, and then you add on Maryland and Delaware. Forget about Eastern Pennsylvania. You add on Maryland, which was a fairly key market, but North Jersey was
what's the importance of it to the region? If Atlantic City fails, doesn't succeed, whatever, what does it do?
Oh, geez. I mean, we have 3 or 4 hours. Let's put it this way: it's really the industry, the engine that drives the southern part of the state, the southeastern part of the state. Everything, the housing market. The tax bases are all predicated on what used to be 50,000 employees in the casinos, now 35, give or take.
I didn't know it was that many. And these are people not just in AC, just in town. These are
most of them do not live in Atlantic City.
Middle class people coming
exactly,
into work.
On what they call the mainland, in Atlantic County and Cape May County, places like Linwood and Egg Harbor Township, which is a huge area for casino workers. So you're losing that tax revenue because they're going to lose their houses, so they're not going to be paying. They're not going to be able to pay their mortgages. They're not going to be paying taxes on the houses, and there goes the infrastructure in those towns, which have boomed in the past generation because of the casino workers having those jobs. So the ripple effect would be maybe, I don't know if catastrophic is too fine of a point or exaggerating. It's really only by degree. That's why the casinos have to stay open, which is why the Governor Christie had no choice but to put up that $265 million in tax breaks, because as dire as the consequences of Revel opening, which is their business, they're already being in bankruptcy and coming out of it, had Had that place not been finished, that 47-story glass tower would have been in the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's largest tombstone, because perception is reality. If that had not opened, people would say, well, why would I go to Atlantic City? They can't even open a casino, so what's there to do?
Interesting insight. Hey, have you been following, too? We haven't had him on yet. He's quite a character, the mayor of Wildwood, New Jersey.
Yes.
With the saggy pants, since we're on the shore.
Which a Facebook friend of mine pointed out, like, there goes any older Jewish man being on the boardwalk.
But this has gotten people, Wildwood trying to rebrand. Talking about AC, but Wildwood's gotten it, you know, the type of senior week and all that stuff. That's played out.
Right.
They have to move past that.
And
How
they
are
are.
doing?
Well, I think they're doing okay, because Wildwood, I'm pretty sure now, I haven't been to Wildwood as much as I used to
Right.
go back in the day when I was working for the Courier Post and before I went to the Daily News. Like, I did a lot more shore coverage, but in general. But Wildwood, there's a condo boom that's going on down there. So they're getting that crowd, which of course is an affluent crowd. The sort of downside of that is that more and more of these really cool retro 50s motels that a few years ago Wildwood made a tourist attraction.
doo-wop
The doo-wop tour,
right,
exactly. Yeah. Well, the people who own these properties, they're getting a lot of money thrown at them for their properties by the condo developers. So I think Wildwood will actually, it's getting apparently more affluent. I think there'll be, it seems that if that's the case, and these condos seem to be going at a pretty quick rate, that the sort of working class and middle class clientele that made Wildwood and has been going there for probably 50, 75 years, whatever, 75 years, they may be getting squeezed out of Wildwood.
All right, we're talking with Chuck Darrow, and coming up we'll talk about some of the breaking news of the day, including the Supreme Court this week saying that, heck, probably don't have to be a citizen to vote if you're in Arizona, striking down an Arizona law. But the key thing is, what does it mean for Pennsylvania and voter ID? That's straight ahead as we continue with our weekly roundup on DomTime.